Hello everybody. My name is N.U.R.P, or Izzy, as some may call me. I have to be really quiet because it's really late at night right now. It's like, I don't know, but there's something I want to talk about, and this is completely unscripted. Nothing scripted at all. Something that happened to me yesterday, and I just wanted to talk about it because it was something so vile and so disgusting that I just need to talk about it. And normally I don't make videos like this, but I can't stay silent when this is out there, like completely age restricted on YouTube where children are accessible to it. And I'm sorry if my voice sounds shaky. It just brought back some PTSD, and I don't have it in front of me right now, but and I don't remember what the comic name is. If I do have the comic, if I don't have the comic name, I'll put it up on screen. But I was after the Playing with Fire video thing I made yesterday, after watching like what the Ratana, I don't know how to pronounce their name, but when like I was making like the Playing with Fire thing and like the disgusting video, I was already like really upset. So I went to go like watch like some cool other comic dubs and stuff, like BM Sara, Inmus, The Last Orc in AU, that one, the Invader Zim Royalty AU, Shanzi, with like There Nothing Left to Lose with the Zim Void, and I really enjoyed it. So I found this Zatter playlist, and I'm like, oh, more Zatter for me to consume, yummy yummy. And while I was looking through the stuff, I found comic dubs that were in Spanish, and I was like, oh, I don't really know Spanish that well, but with my Spanish classes and my context clues and my family speaking Spanish, I decided to give it a try. I've already seen the Invader Zim like Rebellion AU, and it was really good. I liked it except that one chapter. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen it, but really liked the design. And actually, a little bit of the design inspired my own comic that I'm working on right now. Haven't come up with a name for it, but I'm working on it. And while I was looking through the stuff, I saw this comic I've never seen before, and I thought I've seen everything on Zed or YouTube, but I was like, no, I haven't seen this, so let me give it a shot. Like I said, it was in Spanish, so I had to interpretate it. The first one was auto-dubbed by YouTube's AI, but obviously, you know, it wouldn't exactly get it right. I mean, it's a freaking AI. It never gets anything right. But, he starts off with Zim explaining that, like, I thought this would be a normal trip to, like, that the tallest gave me, and when I came to Earth, I met this dib human, and we didn't get along, we fought a lot, and, but then one, I felt, like, really bad, because, like, my tallest, they seemed, like, upset, and I was like, I feel like I'm letting my tallest down. But then, like, it all changed when, like, my tallest told me that my mission was fake, and they laughed at me, and that's, like, the first thing. And, like, before, like, they banished me, and that's, like, the first chapter. The second chapter, it goes on to, Zim. He's sitting down, he's being depressed, and I was like, my life, it was so depressed until you came and you helped me, and Dib was there. He was, like, holding out his hand. He was, like, basically a shoulder for Zim to lay on. And Zim was telling him that, like, I'm just gonna give you, like, a little thingy imagery. It's not exactly what happened, but he wanted to, take off his pack, if you know what I mean. But then, like, this Dib gave him a hug, and, like, the world went in color. And as I'm reading this, I'm like, oh my god, this is so sweet. I can't wait to finish this. And, like, I'm getting my quote-unquote popcorn. I'm sitting down, my headphones are in, I'm listening while doing my schoolwork, and I'm just there. And the next chapter came on, and it was talking about how Zim, the more time he spent with him, the more he slowly became to realize that he was in love with him, and how he didn't know what this feeling was, and he did his research, and he realized he wasn't sick, but was this some human disease that he got? And when he looked it up on, like, human time, like, on, like, the human way, he realized that what he was feeling was love. And I was like, oh my god, so sweet! And I was, like, giggling. I'm like, OMG, my favorite vanilla. And, as I was sitting there and I was, like, watching it, I did not expect what would happen in the next few chapters, in, like, the next couple of chapters, so, sorry if I got really emotional. Like I said, PTSD kind of hit harder than, like, I don't know, Gingle getting hit by that truck. And as I was going on to the next chapter, I have noticed that there was like a pit in my stomach, like I was like, something bad's gonna happen, but I like brushed it off. And it started off with Zim calling Dib over to tell him his feelings. And as he was telling him his feelings, Dib was like, Zim, you can't say I love you. You probably don't even know what that means. And I was getting mad, and I was like, Dib, he's right there. He's telling you. And I had gotten a bit of upset watching it, because I'm like, I'm tired of, you know, I knew something was going to be like, I know like something playing with fire type would happen, but I wanted to try to prove myself wrong. Like, maybe this will turn around. Maybe Dib will be like, you know what? You're true to your feelings. I know, like, I was like, maybe he could let this on slower instead of yelling at him, like telling him that, like, these feelings you have aren't real. Maybe you can direct them to, hey, so I know that you're like an alien and you don't really like know this stuff, but I want to make sure, like, are you 1,000% sure, Zim? We can talk about this. We can have a nice conversation, just to make sure that what you're feeling is genuine, instead of just yelling at him saying these aren't true and getting up and leaving. And as Zim is like, I can't, without you, my heart will break. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of cringy, but this is honestly depressing, because he's there crying and Dib is like being an asshole. And he then leaves, and I'm like, damn, this is so depressing now. I wanted this to be my silly vanilla, like silly vanilla. Anyway, and in the video, when it goes on to the next one, it was like, I was like, OMG, Zim is wearing a Marvin the Martian shirt, and there's a Stitch plushie, and it's so, like, I was like, okay, maybe this is getting better. And when, like, Zim's phone rings, it's touch-tone telephone by Lemon Demon, and I'm like, this is peak. And I'm here, like all happy and giddy. And since YouTube's, like, AI voice dub thing, like, the voice captions or whatever the hell they're called, was, like, crashing the hell out, it didn't tell me what they're saying, but my content clue is saying that Dib invited Zim over to talk about either these feelings or math homework or whatever, I don't know. And he went over to his house. Dib invited him in. Zim was kind of nervous. He was like freaking out, and they went up to Dib's room. And what I noticed is that there was a little plastic bag on the side, and I thought Zim brought it, and then I realized he didn't bring anything in. And this is where, like, it was a little major trigger warning for SA. I am just gonna tell you it's SA. What happened next? So Dib went into the room and he was like, did you truly mean what you said about me? And Zim was like, are you really just asking me this right now? But yes, it was genuine. I'm serious. And then, without consent, Dib, like, pushes Zim on the bed, and he's like, then prove to me that you love me. And Zim is there. He's panicking. His internal monologue is saying, I don't like this. This is giving me red flags. This is giving me a warning sign. And he's like, Dib, you're not usually like this. And then, like, you know, like, the glint in Zim's eyes disappears as, like, Dib starts, like, unzipping his jacket. And in his internal monologue, he's saying, Dib, stop. Over and over again. And I'm here sitting, I'm like frozen in shock, and I'm here just looking at this, and it's like, all of a sudden Dib, like, you know, he puts his hand down there, and like the whole world, it shakes, and Zim is petrified, and he shoves him off. He's telling him to stop, and Dib does, but then he's like all upset about it, and he's like, well, I guess you don't love him, I guess you don't truly love me. And Zim is there, he's fucking petrified. And he's here, like, giving comfort to Dib, like, oh, yeah, I do love you, and if this is what you want, then I'll give it to you. Just please love me. And Dib is here using that against him, and I have no words for what happened, but it was pure. I don't care. That was disgusting. This is available for anyone to see. Not age restricted. Not even a warning. Nothing. Not at all. Giving me preparation for what I had to remember. And I was like, This is so fucking disgusting. How could one sit there at their computer or tablet or whatever the fuck you're drawing on and draw this shit? I don't normally swear, and I would never really swear in my videos, but this is something that, like, I mean, I do swear, but this is something that, like, it caught me so off guard. Like, there was not even a warning, nothing to prepare me for what I had to be reminded of. It wasn't anything like that, but it was still something that had to be brought back for such a vile reaction. And this gives Zatter a bad name. Disgusting shit on top of disgusting shit. Fucking awful people online. Use the Zim and Dib using their forms. These people are giving people in the Invader Zim community a really bad name, and this needs to be, like, addressed, because this stuff is available for any children to see. Children who could stumble upon this, be traumatized for life, and have to live with this in the back of their mind, and to relive something like this, and in potential situations, for them to think that this is perfectly okay. We need to, I don't know, talk about this more. Talk about what we could do, like, for better age restriction, and for better moderation, just online, when it comes up to people who ship Zatter, because I'm a Zatter shipper, but I'm not proud to say I am one. N.U.R.P signing off, I guess.